You don't get to talk to me that way. I looked at him and said, I just did. Would you rather me say this to you or to the board?
How do you deal with founders, like sort of founder mode, and being a great early operator alongside those founders? Like, how do you deal with somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, who seems obviously like a brilliant founder, probably a bit headstrong, many founders are, and in that case, company that in most of these companies you've worked at growing incredibly fast? How do you be, I know lots of founders who go back and be an operator, and it's really hard to be an operator to some founder who you're 19 years old, you don't know what you're talking about, and to sort of keep your mouth shut and say, you know what, like, they're still the boss. Like, how did you deal with that?
I think, again, I don't let them being the boss affect my decisions. I respect them, but if I believe something or I know something or I have something to offer, I'm going to put it out there. I've had a number of founders with some interesting stories. In fact, I probably could write a book about those founders, although I think they'd probably come after me. But Mark, for one, I remember the first time I met him, it felt like there were 5 computers going at the same time, and I was fascinated with his brain. I get fascinated with people, so it drew me in. I wanted to know what was going on and how this worked, and then how I could adapt to it and communicate with it. I had this great experience with Mark I'll share with you briefly before I go back, is when I left Facebook, I said, Mark, I want to see you in 10 years. He said, why do you want to see me? You're leaving. I said, I just want to see what happens. You were 19 when I met you, you're 21, 22 now, I want to see what happened. And so I forgot all about it. 10 years later, I'm sitting at my desk, a Facebook message pops up, still want to have lunch? I looked at that message from him and thought, do I want to have lunch with the 5th richest man in the world, which is what he was at the time? Heck yeah, I want to have lunch with the 5th richest man in the world. I wanted to see what happened. Still the same thing going on, by the way. That story is going to be in that book that's coming up. But back to the founders. I realized that founders, we put them on this pedestal and they're just like the rest of us. We all have our thing. We all are good at stuff. We all have our vulnerabilities. And one founder I know, I was sitting at my desk one day, I was running service and HR in the company, and the founder came to me one day early in that and said to me, I don't understand this. You're running service and HR, they have nothing to do with each other. And I said, of course they do. They're both about customers. One's an external customer, one's an internal customer. It's all customer stuff. This founder I looked up from my desk one day, and here are 2 women locked in arms. And I knew something was wrong because they don't do that often. And I learned there was some funky stuff going on. And I got to tell this founder, look, you are no longer allowed and alone with any female in this organization. And he looked at me and said, you don't get to talk to me that way. I looked at him and said, I just did. Would you rather me say this to you or to the board? I think I share that story with you with some of the founders, is we all, again, have our own vulnerabilities. That's an extreme thing of something that's going on. Some people have a weakness about being able to stand up to certain kind of personalities, whatever it may be, we all have it. Meet them there, share it with them, and see how you can share and be real with them and exchange what goes on between you.